everyone, welcome back to my class. This is Ruman Ali. I hope you all are fine. Let us discuss about soil conservation. So there are certain methods by which we can conserve the natural resource called soil. The first one is planting trees. As we have already discussed that by reforestation we can conserve the soil and we can prevent the soil pollution also. The plants or the trees which are planted in the soil, the roots of that trees are fixed into the soil, by which the soil can maintain its toughness and it cannot be easily washed away by the water, so that the soil erosion can be prevented by planting trees. So there are many benefits to the soil by planting trees. So in this way it is one of the best measures to conserve the soil. The next one is making terraces. Here the terraces means on the hilly region they make some steps, and on these steps they go for agricultural practices. They plant the crops, and if the rain occurs or if the rain takes place, then the rain water can run down through these steps. They can run down through these steps. So by this the rainwater can be used for the betterment of the crop production. In this way the rainwater can be used in the agriculture, or it can be utilized by the plants that are grown on these steps. By this also we can conserve the soil. The soil cannot be washed away by the rainwater because of the slopes or the steps that are made on the hills. The next one is no-till farming. Here tilling means ploughing. So ploughing is a practice which needs to be done by the farmers before sowing the seeds. Before sowing the seeds they go for ploughing, and after the ploughing only they can be able to sow the seeds. But here the ploughing is a practice which is beneficial for the soil, and on the other hand it also shows some effects, also shows some bad impact on the soil. So to prevent that and to conserve the soil, the farmers follow certain methods or they go for certain measures by which the ploughing, by which the cropping can be done without ploughing, and that measure or the practice is called as no-till farming. The next one is contour ploughing. Here the plants are grown in a proper direction so that the soil cannot be washed away by the blowing wind or it cannot be washed away by the flowing water. In this way the soil erosion can be prevented and the soil fertility can also be maintained. The next one is crop rotation. Farmers should take care of the crops that are grown in their field. They should not go for the repetition of the crops. In one season if they go for the leguminous crops, then in the next season or in the next time they should grow some cereals over that land. So by growing or by going for crop rotation, by following the method of crop rotation, they can maintain the fertility of the soil, and the nutrients or the minerals which are present in the soil can also be balanced by this practice. The next is maintaining soil pH. Acidic or the alkaline condition of the soil should be tested regularly, so that if the soil shows the presence of excess amount of the acids, then the farmers can go for certain methods by which they can reduces the acidic components that are present in the soil. So in this way they can maintain the soil pH by testing regularly. The next measure or the practice to conserve the soil is watering the soil. Watering the soil means it does not include flooding the soil. The soil should contain proper amount of the water. If the water is poured into the soil in a very large amount, then that will also create a problem. So proper watering is also very important in maintaining the properties of the soil. The next is salinity of the soil should also be maintained to conserve the soil, and the organisms which are present in the soil, they should not be destroyed by burning, or they should not be killed by adding certain acidic substances in the soil. So by this the life which is found in the soil can be preserved or it can be conserved. Last measure or the practice that needs to be followed to conserve the soil is growing indigenous crops. Indigenous crops means local varieties of crops. The local varieties of crops can be able to maintain all the properties of the soil when compared to the foreign crops. If we go for growing the foreign crops also, at the border of the fields we need to grow some indigenous crops. So by that the soil properties can be balanced and the soil can be conserved. So all these measures are necessary to be followed in order to conserve the soil. अभी हम बात करेंगे सॉइल कंजर्वेशन के बारे में, यानी कंजर्वेशन यानी प्रोटेक्टिंग, किस तरह से सॉइल को प्रोटेक्ट कर सकते हैं हम. तो यहाँ पर थोड़े से ऐसे मेजर्स और प्रैक्टिसेस दिया गया है जिसको फॉलो करके सॉइल को कंजर्व कर सकते हैं. फर्स्ट वाला है प्लांटिंग ट्रीज. ट्रीज को प्लांट करने की वजह से जो ट्रीज के रूट्स होते हैं वो सॉइल में प्रेजेंट होते हैं और सॉइल को बाइंड करके रखते हैं और इसकी वजह से सॉइल इरोजन नहीं होगा. नेक्स्ट वाला है मेकिंग टेरेसेस. हिली एरियाज पर थोड़े से स्टेप्स बनाते हैं और उसके अंदर क्रॉप्स को प्लांट्स ग्रो किए जाते हैं और जब भी रेन वाटर फ्लो होता है तो ये वाला रेन वाटर ये वाले स्टेप्स के थ्रू होते हुए नीचे जाता है, जिसकी वजह से रेन वाटर भी इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है ये प्लांट्स को ग्रो करने के लिए और सॉइल को भी कंजर्व किया जा सकता है. सॉइल इरोजन भी प्रिवेंट होता है ये वाली प्रैक्टिस से. ठीक है. नेक्स्ट वाला है नो टिल फार्मिंग. टिलिंग यानी प्लफिंग. प्लफिंग एक ऐसी प्रैक्टिस है जो सीड को सो करने से पहले फार्मर्स करते हैं, जिसकी वजह से सॉइल के जो बॉटम के न्यूट्रिएंट्स है वो टॉप में आते हैं और टॉप के बॉटम में जाते हैं, यानी रोटेशन ऑफ न्यूट्रिएंट्स होता है. ये एक बेनिफिशियल पॉइंट है. लेकिन प्लफिंग की वजह से थोड़े से ऐसे प्रॉब्लम्स भी क्रिएट होते हैं जिसकी वजह से सॉइल फर्टिलिटी लूज कर देती है और इस चीज़ को प्रिवेंट करने के लिए नो टिल फार्मिंग एक बेस्ट मेथड है जिसको फार्मर्स फॉलो करते हैं और प्लफिंग के बिना ही क्रॉप को ग्रो करते हैं. कंटोर प्लफिंग यानी प्लांट को प्रॉपर डायरेक्शन में प्लांट करना, उस चीज़ को हम बोलेंगे कंटोर प्लफिंग. और क्रॉप रोटेशन यानी एक ही क्रॉप को रिपीटेड बार बार ग्रो करने से सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी कम हो जाती है और जो मिनरल्स और न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं वो भी इम्बैलेंस हो जाते हैं. तो यहाँ पर क्रॉप रोटेशन यानी एक सीजन में एक क्रॉप ग्रो करना चाहिए, फिर नेक्स्ट वाले सीजन में नेक्स्ट क्रॉप. तो इन दिस वे डिफरेंट क्रॉप्स जो ग्रो किए जाते हैं न्यूट्रिएंट्स बैलेंस होते हैं इस क्रॉप रोटेशन के मेजर को फॉलो करने से और इस तरह से सॉइल को भी कंजर्व किया जा सकता है. सॉइल के अंदर जो मिनरल्स और न्यूट्रिएंट्स प्रेजेंट होते हैं वो बैलेंस्ड होते हैं. नेक्स्ट वाला है सॉइल पीएच मेंटेन करना, यानी एसिडिक और बेसिक ये दोनों कंडीशंस को चेक करते रहना चाहिए सॉइल के. और नेक्स्ट है वाटरिंग द सॉइल. सॉइल में हमेशा वाटर प्रेजेंट होना चाहिए प्रॉपर क्वांटिटी में और सॉइल की सैलिनिटी भी मेंटेन होनी चाहिए और ऑर्गेनिजम्स जो भी प्रेजेंट होते हैं सॉइल में वो भी प्रॉपरली बैलेंस्ड रहना चाहिए. कोई भी एसिडिक सब्सटेंस हमें सॉइल में नहीं डालना चाहिए क्योंकि एसिडिक सब्सटेंस सॉइल ऑर्गेनिजम्स के ग्रोथ को अफेक्ट करते हैं. और लास्ट है इंडिजीनियस क्रॉप्स. इंडिजीनियस क्रॉप्स यानी लोकल वैरायटीज़ के क्रॉप्स. तो ये वाले क्रॉप्स बहुत ही ज़्यादा बेनिफिशियल होते हैं सॉइल के प्रॉपर्टीज़ को मेंटेन करने के लिए व्हेन कंपेयर टू द फॉरेन क्रॉप. सो दीज आर some of the methods that needs to be followed to conserve the soil. Let's have a quick recapitulation of all the topics which we have studied under the lesson soil pollution. So in this lesson we have studied that what is soil. So soil is a resource and it shows the different components in them that are air, water, mineral particles and organic matter. 25% of the air and 25% of the water, 45% of the mineral particles and 5% of the organic matter, all these components together form the soil. And when we talk about the process of soil formation, then we usually think that the pieces of rocks can be turned into soil. Yes, of course, the pieces of rocks, it can help to form the soil, but by the processes like heating, cooling, freezing and by the water, by wind and by erosion, all these processes helps the rocks to be converted into soil. That helps the rocks to be broken down into smaller pieces and that smaller pieces broken down into more smaller, that leads to the formation of soil. Next is layers of soil. Generally the three layers of soils are present: top, middle and bottom. On the top soil, organic matter and the microorganisms are present which makes the soil fertile and which makes the soil ready to provide the minerals and the nutrients for the plant growth. Middle layer stores the different minerals and the other nutrients for the plant growth and the bottom layer shows the presence of parent rock. This is about the layers of soil. And the soil properties is classified into three main types, that are physical properties, chemical properties and biological properties. Physical properties includes color, texture and components of the soil. Chemical properties includes pH of the soil, whether the soil is acidic or alkaline, that shows the chemical properties of the soil, and if the soil contain 5.5 to 7.5 pH, then that soil can be considered as the best quality soil. So, this is a proper pH that needs to be maintained by the soil in order to maintain the chemical properties of it. The next is biological properties. It includes the presence of microorganisms and the animals, the life which is found in the soil, that comes as the biological properties of the soil. So, the number of the microorganisms that are present in the soil, that helps the soil to convert its decaying matter into some usable forms, that means in the process of decomposition. So, these organisms should be present in a proper amount in the soil, and the animals like frogs and crabs, they form the burrows and the holes into the soil by which the soil can get aerated and it can be ventilated. So, these are physical, chemical and biological properties. If the soil contain all proper physical, chemical and biological properties, then that soil can be termed as fertile soil. Fertility of the soil basically maintained by the presence of nutrients and the microorganisms or the organic matter in the soil, and this fertility can also be maintained by minimizing the usage of chemical fertilizers, insecticides and pesticides. Instead of using chemical fertilizers or pesticides and insecticides, the farmers can use biofertilizers. Biofertilizers are nothing but the microbial cultures. If they add the microorganisms directly to the soil, then that microorganisms start their action, that means they start the decomposition reaction, which results in the formation of different nutrients and minerals, and by the presence of these different minerals and the nutrients, the soil can get its fertility. In this way, we can maintain the soil fertility. The next is causes of soil pollution. So, here the causes of land pollution are indiscriminate use of fertilizers. So, if the farmers use excess amount of the fertilizers, then it leads to the soil pollution and the soil structure will be disturbed. Indiscriminate use of pesticides. Here the fertilizers includes superphosphates, urea, sulfates, all these kind of chemical fertilizers are prepared in the factories by using some raw material that is obtained from the soil. So, if we use these chemical fertilizers in a larger amount or in an excess amount, then that leads to soil pollution. The next is indiscriminate use of pesticides. Pesticides are the chemicals that are sprayed into the fields to control the insects and pests. So, here the DDT and Gamaxin are the two pesticides which are widely used, but these pesticides are very dangerous and harmful. The usage of these pesticides leads to many health problems, and it also disturbs the properties of the soil. It also damages the properties of the soil. Biomagnification. Here the water, naturally in the water different nutrients or different trace elements are present. Phytoplanktons are the small plants that lives in water, and that phytoplanktons absorb that trace elements from the water. So, along with the trace elements, some pollutants which are found in the water, that also absorbed by the phytoplankton, and if that phytoplankton are consumed by the other living organisms, the pesticides or the insecticides which are accumulated in the body of the phytoplankton is getting transferred into the other living organisms as well, and the concentration of these pollutants increases at each trophic level. So, the increased concentration of the pesticides or the insecticides at each trophic level is termed as biomagnification. Dumping of solid waste, it is a major cause for soil pollution. Solid waste can be of three types: municipal waste, that means household or the office waste. The next is hazardous waste, that gets from the industries or the other factories, and the third type is infectious waste, which we get from the hospital. The hospital waste will be infectious, so that can be termed as infectious waste. So, dumping of all these waste onto the ground or disposal of this solid waste in an improper manner leads to soil pollution or land pollution. Deforestation means cutting down the trees. So, because of the overpopulation, the people are cutting down the trees and they are building the houses. As they are cutting down the trees, the soil or the land will be vacant, and as the land is vacant, the fertility of the soil gets lost, and there we cannot plant the different crops. We cannot go for the agricultural practices on that land. So, it also leads to soil pollution. The next is pollution due to urbanization. Urbanization means development of the city. As the city is developing day by day, the demand of agricultural products and the shelter is also increasing day by day. So, here to meet the demand, the farmers are using the chemical fertilizers that damages or destroys the soil properties. Let us talk about the effects of soil pollution. So, here based on the types of the pollutants, the effects can be categorized into 3 types, that are agricultural, industrial and urban. Agricultural effects shows that the soil fertility is lost, the crop yield is decreasing and many other effects can also be seen because of the pollutants that are present in the soil. And industrial waste means the gases which are released from the industries that are very hazardous and are very dangerous. They cause many health problems and the vegetation is getting reduced because of the soil pollution. And here urban means clogging of drainages, the blockage of drainages occur and the drinking water is getting polluted. So, all these effects can be seen because of soil pollution. As the soil is getting polluted, these are the different effects that can be seen in our environment. The next one is control of soil pollution. To control the soil pollution, we can follow the 4 steps. The first one is reduce. Reduce means the minimizing the usage of non-biodegradable waste. The next controlling measure is reuse. So, after the materials are used for the first time, if we can be able to use it again, then we should use it again. In this way, by reusing the things, we can control the soil pollution and also by recycling and reforestation. So, these 4 measures are the controlling measures of soil pollution. Solid waste management. The solid waste that can be produced or generated from the environment or from the other places, these should not be dumped here and there, or they should not be dumped in the vacant area because it can deteriorate the properties of the soil. So, the solid waste needs to be disposed in a proper manner, and for the proper disposal of these solid waste, we have already studied the different measures of the practices that needs to be followed, like bioremediation, pyrolysis and incineration, formation of biogas. All these methods can be used for the proper disposal of waste. The last topic of our lesson is soil conservation. Conservation means protecting the soil. So, to protect the soil or to prevent the soil pollution, there are certain measures that needs to be practiced, and that includes planting trees, making use of terraces, watering the soil, maintaining the pH of the soil, maintaining the life that is found in the soil, that means maintaining the growth of the microorganisms that are present in the soil. So, all these things needs to be maintained in a proper manner. By that, we can conserve the natural resource called soil. So, here the lesson ends. I will be back in the next class with a new lesson. Goodbye.